Well, it seems 2019 has finally come to an end. Not only is it the end of the year, but it's also the end of a decade. And we're now moving on to 2020, and I'm not sure if I'm excited or full of dread. I'll let you guys decide for yourselves, but I'm still trying to decide for myself. So yeah, this is the Skidstack Studios 2019 recap. And oh boy, a lot has happened. Not really in terms of quantity, but in terms of how drastic the changes have been. So let's begin. I'm happy to announce that despite a lot of the stuff that's happened, from Jack's departure to the constantly delayed renovations, I'm at least happy that I've been able to remain productive during those passing months. I'm finally in my brand spanking new room, and all my games are finally out of storage, and this is an announcement that I'm probably the most happiest to make. I have finally completed my first ever animation. If you've watched my previous vlogs, as well as the previous recap, you'll know that animation is something that I've always wanted to do on this channel. And back in 2017, when that year was ending, I had just recently bought, well, not recently, but recently during that time, I had just recently bought, at the time, Toon Boom Harmony. And I'm sure a lot of you people are familiar with that. And but the problem is, I've never had a chance to use it beyond experimenting with it. I decided to use most of that time watching tutorials and trying to complete my college work so that I could have some semblance of knowledge of what I was dealing with. But I'm happy to say that with a new idea that I was able to expand upon, storyboard and make an animatic on, and then finally animate it and do all that post-production stuff, I'm happy to say that I finally completed my first ever animation, and it's going to be released the day after this recap comes up, which is Christmas. The one thing I can tell you about this animation is that it's related to Pokemon. The idea kind of came about during the excitement that my friends and I had about Pokemon Sword and Shield coming out. We'd had these crazy improv sessions, and that's kind of where the idea evolved from. So the animation, I'm not saying that I think it's awful. I'm not saying I'm ashamed of it, but I think the result, I kind of wish the result kind of came out better than it did. But it is my first ever animation, and I think for a first try, I think I might have done a decent job. Not a good job, but a decent one in my opinion. But come the following day after this recap is uploaded, I'm gonna be uploading it to YouTube, and it's gonna be up there for your scrutiny. You can be as harsh as you want, because as it is, I'm harsh on myself. I really do hope you guys enjoy it. And I'm happy to say that now that the renovations are over, I can finally get back to making gaming videos, and I can finally get to work on making machinimas. No way associated with the now shut down machinima.com, but making machinimas has always been something I've always wanted to do as well. The problem is, and this was kind of the same with the lack of animations beyond the animation reels, is that I just didn't have that idea that I wanted to adapt. I had no idea to expand upon, and also I was busy making the live action skits. Which also brings me to why I decided to change my upload schedule to 6 skits a year. The reason why I did that, as I explained in the previous recap, is because I wanted to have more time to dedicate to my animations. And even that's been difficult because there are a few animated series that I'm trying to adapt. I'm even thinking of making a few animated teasers. However, and I knew this would be an issue, making an animation really isn't as easy as it looks, which is why I'm going to be sticking to making animated skits for the time being. And I also feel this would give me a great opportunity to really hone my skills in storyboarding, in animating, in writing, in voice acting, in all that good stuff. I'm kind of the type of person who wants to do a lot of things in terms of animation production. And I know that the kind of stuff I want to do is not easy for me to do alone. Hell, even with the current people I have, as great as they are, mind you, it's still a difficult task, and I'm really trying to plan ahead and make it the best I could. And as for the gaming channel, I will be getting back to that as soon as I can, and I'm hoping that I can perhaps improve the quality a bit, because even looking back at the videos, it's probably the leading cause of narcolepsy. So yeah, I think I've covered just about everything in this recap. I'm also happy to say that I kind of recorded a whole lot of stuff this year. I recorded a lot of videos this year that I was indeed planning to upload the following year, but also I've also been writing a script for a rather big project I've been working on for the live-action skits, and I think I should tell you guys that next year a lot of the future skits are going to be recorded extremely early, and this is so I can have time to write and produce this big project of mine. This big project, which was mentioned back in my previous recap, is going to be slated for release during the 10th anniversary of the channel, which is why, now that I think about it, I probably shouldn't be teasing it this early, but that's me, I'm just an early bird by nature. So, yeah, this year has been quite tumultuous with all the things that have been going on. It's been a lot. There was the delayed renovations, Jack's departure, but I'm trying to soldier through it and remain productive, and the fact that I finally managed to produce my first animation is a proud moment, even if the animation is of low quality, or maybe I'm just being way too critical on myself, but regardless of the quality of the animation is what I meant to say. The fact that I still managed to produce it, the fact that I still managed to see the animation through, is, once again, still a proud moment for me. So yeah, this about wraps up everything I wanted to cover in this recap. And before I end this video, I want to wish my audience and everyone who watches my videos an enjoyable Christmas season. Spend time with your family, spend time with your friends this year, and just eat a lot of food. That's what I'm going to be doing. So yeah, Merry Christmas everyone, and thanks for watching, thanks for supporting me throughout this year, and as always, have a good one. And I'm sure a lot of people want me to bring up COPPA, or copper. I'm not. A lot of people have talked about it and explained it way better than I could ever dream of doing. But if you want my opinion, I'll just boil it down to these words. We faced worse, so I'm wary but confident, if that makes any sense. Or is it confident but wary? I'm not sure.